are several fan bases out there who are just dying to see their team undergo a massive uniform makeover.
Our Fox13Now.com survey came down distinctly Team Purple Mountain. 58% saying Purple Mountains are great, but the rest can go.
Whether that means bringing back their old ones or introducing something brand new altogether, here are 10 professional sports teams who need to change their jerseys ASAP. And hey, a big shout out to Colorado sports fan 178 for suggesting this video. New England Patriots. Whether you loved them or hated them during the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick golden years, there's no denying that the Patriots once had some of the slickest uniforms in sports. When Brady left New England in 2020, the Patriots introduced brand new futuristic-looking uniforms. At the time, it kind of made sense. It was a completely different era of football without the GOAT. But the Patriots have been mired in mediocrity since TB12's departure. Perhaps that's a sign that it's time to change jerseys again. Hey, I mean, look no further than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020. They signed Brady, brought back the jerseys from their late 90s, early 2000s glory days, then won Super Bowl 54 that same season. Go figure. The Patriots jerseys from the Brady era were the best in franchise history. They are synonymous with winning and historical dominance. We know that they just switched uniforms in 2020, but you know, it's not too early, or should we say too late, to go back to the Brady era unis. Just get rid of these ugly new ones. I mean, just because the team sucks now doesn't mean their uniforms have to as well. The Phoenix Suns. The Suns' current uniforms are just way too 90s vintage looking. There will always be a large number of folks who find the bright color schemes appealing, but their current look just doesn't really work. Do they really need to have purple as the dominant color? The Sacramento Kings already have that color, and it's one of the Los Angeles Lakers' main colors along with yellow. It's not like the Suns are the ones who made it cool. Phoenix had some awesome jerseys in the Steve Nash, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire days. The dominant purple color jerseys and the main black unis with a million colors along the edges and the inside the number are just a little too much. Are they trying to dress up for a 90s theme party or something? A team with the name Suns should have red, yellow, or more orange in its main jersey colors. In Phoenix's case, they should be going back to orange as the main color. Either way, their current unis just aren't cutting it. Buffalo Sabres. Man, are we longing for the return of the Sabres jerseys, colors, and logos from 1997 to 2006. The Sabres have been hockey's ultimate laughingstock since 2012, constantly changing GMs, coaches, and jerseys. It's getting to the point where it's hard for even the most diehard Sabres fans to keep up. Those old red and black jerseys were among the best in hockey. Maybe the Sabres don't want to bring back the exact same logo, but we would ditch these out-of-date blue and yellow jerseys that have too much of a 70s look to them. We actually dig most teams' current NHL jerseys and logos, but the Sabres' current one are just straight up terrible. They have been long associated with losing and humiliation. Either bring back the late 90s, early 2000s uniforms or offer something new altogether. It's time to usher in a new era of Sabres hockey, and it starts with the new jerseys. Utah Jazz. We get it. It's difficult to find the right jersey designs and colors when your team name is the Jazz. But hey, nobody said the Utah Jazz had to keep the team name intact when they relocated from New Orleans. The purple-colored mountain jerseys made famous by Karl Malone and John Stockton were by far the best in franchise history. The Jazz bring these back every so often, but we simply cannot get enough of them. We're not calling for Utah to drop their entire slate of home, away, and alternate uniforms. We're just telling them to make the Purple Mountain jerseys permanent again. Please and thank you. Cleveland Guardians. We fully dig the Guardians team name and logo change that went into effect in 2022. But did they really have to keep the same jersey colors and designs intact? They couldn't change it up, not even a little bit. Notice when the Florida Marlins rebranded themselves as the Miami Marlins, they went with completely different colors, logos, uniforms, and designs. The Guardians, like every other MLB team, have their home whites, road grays, and alternate navy and red jerseys. The new team name just felt like a good time to introduce a whole new look altogether. Although nobody said the popular red and blue alternates had to go away entirely. It's primarily the away gray uniforms we don't like for the Guardians. It'd be nice if they incorporated a little more red and blue in their jersey colors, as opposed to just having the word Cleveland in the dark blue and red colors and nothing else. Vancouver Canucks. We are of the belief if you suck for a lengthy period of time, it's probably a good idea to rebrand yourselves and change up your uniform and logo. This is something the NHL's Vancouver Canucks desperately need. They were an annual Stanley Cup contender from 2001 to 2013, but have made the postseason only once since 2016. And that was thanks to the expanded playoff format during the COVID bubble. The Canucks have used the main blue, green, and white jersey color scheme since 2007/2008. Yet long before that, the organization wasn't afraid to drastically alter their uniforms every so often. It's long overdue to drop these current jerseys that have really just become a symbol of irrelevance, dysfunction, and mismanagement. The Canucks should bring back the popular and iconic flying skate jersey that was super popular in the early and mid-90s. The Canucks do wear the flying skate jerseys as an alternate on occasion, and it's always a hit for the fans. This logo was worn during the franchise's storied run to the 1994 Stanley Cup Final. Franchise greats like Trevor Linden, Pavel Bure, and Kirk McLean made this uniform special. Why not start out the next kick at a hopeful franchise renaissance by bringing back the flying skate logo along with the black, red, and yellow color scheme? Even if the Canucks continue to embarrass themselves on the ice, at least they'll look good doing it in these slick uniforms. Arizona Diamondbacks. We're sure we aren't the only ones who are longing for the return of the Diamondbacks striped jerseys that they wore in their early years of existence. You know, the ones that were especially made famous when they won the 2001 World Series. The Diamondbacks' current set of jerseys are just downright ugly. It almost feels like the designers of the present uniforms just wanted to throw a bunch of different color schemes at the wall with the hope that they would stick. Apparently, they did stick, since ownership gave these unis the thumbs up in the first place. We're not here to say the Diamondbacks need to bring back the late 90s and early 2000s uniforms, but the old home unis were slick with those New York Yankees pinstripe-like uniforms. And quite frankly, we would love it if more Major League Baseball teams used those pinstripe patterns. Don't be afraid of copying the Yankees. We won't say anything. We promise. Arizona's Sedona red colors are just kind of bland, and they don't have much creativity in terms of overall design. Anything similar to the franchise's first slate of uniforms would do nicely. Hey, remember the old black jerseys with the white pinstriped pants? That design was pretty awesome. Way better than what they're wearing now. So, dear Diamondbacks, please change already. Indiana Pacers. The Pacers might feel like a random choice given they're a small market team that truly hasn't been relevant since they traded Paul George to the Oklahoma City Thunder more than half a decade ago. But they're mostly on this list because we are dying for a return of the Reggie Miller/Ron Artest era uniforms. From 1997 to 98 to 2004 to 2005, the Pacers had these beautiful pinstripe uniforms in a nice dark blue color with white stripes and eye-catching yellow colors. But these current Pacers uniforms, yeah, they don't do it for us. It's like the aforementioned Phoenix Suns and Utah Jazz. Though we don't quite hate the main Navy ones, they're trying way too hard with the dominant yellow jersey colors. Even if the Pacers want to keep their color scheme in place, can they at least bring back the pinstripes? It'd be a nice way to pay homage to Miller and Artest, who were members of the greatest era in this franchise's otherwise sad history. Otherwise, literally anything new will do. Please, anything but whatever the heck they're wearing now. Anaheim Ducks. It's really something we can go from one of the best team names and logos in all of sports to one of the absolute worst. From 1993 to 94 to 2005-2006, they were the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, named after the popular 90s Disney trilogy. Yes, those very Mighty Ducks that Gordon Bombay coached were the inspiration behind the name for an NHL team. Hence why you saw the old Mighty Ducks NHL jerseys in the second and third installments of the trilogy. But then, in 2006/2007, Anaheim dropped the Mighty part of their name and went with simply Ducks. Sorry, but whose idea was it to go from Mighty Ducks to just Ducks? They also went from the slick and universally loved Mighty Ducks goalie mask logo to a stupid logo that simply reads Anaheim Ducks. The logo has since been changed to a goofy-looking D that's just plain boring and lacking in any creativity or personality. Maybe they'll never bring back the original Mighty Ducks name and logo. Sure, we get that. We've accepted it at this point. But please, for the love of God, change up that awful color scheme already. New York Jets. There was a time when the New York Jets had a pretty nice uniform. The previous Kelly Green and Dark Hunter Green uniforms had nice kicks to them. But in 2019, the Jets introduced brand new outfits called the Take Flight uniforms. The Jets introduced a shinier and more futuristic looking green color and changed up the wording on their logo. Instead of reading NY Jets, it just now reads New York Jets. Look, we don't have a problem with the logo. And it's hard to get creative when your team is well, named the Jets. We had no issue with the Jets' old Kelly green and its predecessor in the dark hunter green jerseys. These new ones are just hideous from head to toe, from the helmet down to the socks. The Jets made a trade for Green Bay Packers legend and four-time league MVP Aaron Rodgers. What perfect timing it would have been for the Jets to usher in the new era by introducing a uniform change. But alas, the NFL legend is going to be stuck going from one of the best uniforms in all of sports to one of the absolute worst. Oh well, to each their own, we suppose. But which other sports teams need to change their jerseys ASAP? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.